snow.
Let it snow. I'm sorry, let it snow. So we got
I have
Ronnie
another
on.
cup that says bah humbug.
We're here. Yeah, that's
I've
my cup.
decided I'm being positive today.
So it's just, I know I get so stir crazy in the house. Like I like working, I like being out there making things happen, and I just get stir crazy sitting in the house. So we've already shoveled off the back porch once, and we're gonna need to shovel it off soon. So I got some pictures here to show, and Ronnie's here to ask questions and provide comic relief. So Ronnie is gonna make you laugh.
I got a message actually from John Phillips, Director of Public Works. You want
Oh,
to hear that?
yeah, breaking news. I don't have a breaking news sound effect, but yes, we do.
Okay. He says, yes, snow is falling at a moderate rate. It's really fine, so it's not accumulating as fast. Plow crews are working to maintain their routes, arterial and secondary roads. And the arterial roads, for those who might not know, are like South Main Street, Farmington Avenue, the main arteries of town. Are passable, but conditions change rapidly. It's cold, but the salt still seems to be effective. So that is our update on West Hartford road conditions as of about 11:30 a.m.
And that's, yeah, exactly up to the second. So nobody can accuse wehow.com of not being up to the second here on this.
That's right.
Stuff. So, all right. So I brought Ronnie on. I figure I'm going to show a few maps, talk about the storm. I'll keep it short. Somebody complained 17 minutes was too long. I really didn't intend to go that long yesterday. If we go 17 minutes today, we'll be talking about other stuff. But so anyway, so let's, so Ryan, I'm going to take us off the screen. The first thing I'm going to show is, and Ronnie, hopefully you can still hear me. This is a radar map. It's now a couple hours old, but I like it. The blue dot is more or less where we are. And if you look, even this is 2 hours ago, we were getting light to moderate snow back then, but look how, and I've learned my arrow does work, but look at the, how dark and concentrated it is over central Jersey to New York City. I mean, they're getting hammered, and that is slowly coming in this direction. It's just, we're going to get a ton of snow out of this thing. There's just really no way around it, unless something really strange happens at this point. So we have that happening. And then the other one I want to show, this is kind of a classic storm. Let me hide this. There we go. This is a map from about an hour ago. It's courtesy of AccuWeather. And Ronnie, did I lose you? I have a text from Ronnie. Make sure I didn't lose her here. And my voice is a little crackly.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, you can tell me on air that. So hopefully people can hear it. Is it still crackly?
Nope. It sounds good now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. My computer's been giving me fits all morning. I don't know why. So this is, I like this map. This is a motion map. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to take that down. Bear with me. There was a second map on this one that I meant to show. So this is also a couple hours old, but if you look over here, I don't know, I think it's Western Pennsylvania. I can't really see. Maybe it's Western New York because of the radar image. But you see that that's a low pressure system. What it does in a classic February big storm, blizzard storm, is it transfers its power to the low pressure system here. And what's happening here with this off the coast low is it's just starting to develop and really strengthen. We've had winds. I mean, I heard the winds at 5 a.m. The winds have started to really pick up, but they're really going to get going over the next 5-6 hours. So we're just entering the teeth of this thing as this storm starts to blow up, and it is going to move at a snail's pace to the east. So it's going to move really slowly. So we're just going to have waves and waves and waves of the snow. And what I recommend you do is, as we get these little intervals where it's a little quiet, like
you're
right
crackly again, John.
Okay.
We didn't hear the recommendation.
So my recommendation is, as you get little breaks in the snow, which we're getting right now, try to get out and shovel, try to get ahead of it, particularly the sidewalks and the walkways. My wife was out doing the back porch while I was trying to troubleshoot some of the technical issues we were having earlier. So just try to stay on top of it, because it's going to get to a point where it's just going to get away from all of us.
And a plug here for the West Hartford Fire Department. If you live near a fire hydrant, please make sure it is shoveled out with about 3 feet around in all directions, so that, God forbid, they need to access that hydrant, it's available.
So to that point, the kids love doing that. If you have a kid who's, in grade school, like, they just love it because they know they're helping the community. Give the kids a shovel, tell them to go out front and shovel out the fire hydrant. We used to do that we used to live over in Concord, and we would do that with our neighbors. And, it was a big event for us to shovel out the fire hydrants, and the kids felt great about it. Am I crackly again?
No, a little bit.
Okay.
Well, a little bit.
All
You're
right.
good.
Yeah.
You're good.
I don't know why my Wi-Fi, it is kind of up and down. I assume it's weather related, so I'll blame it on the weather. So, all right. So what this is a radar in motion that's going to show future. This is pretty current. It shows, I think it's about a half hour or so in the past, or maybe an hour in the past, and then up to an hour in the future. So I'm going to hit play on this, and you can kind of see, you see that really dark blue band, and you see it starting to creep north. I think this map's a little optimistic on timing, but it is going to get here. This map's a half an hour old, so but it's going to get here, and we're right in that sweet spot, kind of on the north end of that sweet spot. But I think we're going to hear snow totals in New York City significantly higher than what they were forecasting earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if the first digit's a 2 on the New York snow totals,
Wow.
New York City snow totals. And I think some areas might even see a 3 as the first digit. I mean, this thing is really going, and it all
Wow.
has to do with how slow it's progressing. It's kind of the perfect setup here. I don't want to use the term perfect
storm.
get in trouble with Sebastian Younger, but
So what about here, John? How many inches of snow?
it's really hard, but I think
here?
again, I think we're going to exceed. I think most areas are going to overachieve. So the latest forecast here was what, 12 to 16, or 10 to 16, depending on.
Oh, I think I paid attention to one that said 9 to 14.
9 to 14. So my sense is, I mean, I'm looking at right now, we've got easily 4 inches. I can see my rails here, my handrails here on the back porch from my office, and we easily have 4 or 5 inches on the ground already. And like I said, the worst of it's not in yet. So
yeah, I'd say I have about 5 inches looking at like a box outside on my patio where it hasn't been hit by any winds. So there hasn't been any drifting or any snow blowing off.
And there will be a lot of that the winds are going right now, and they're just going to get worse. I was able to zoom in on that. How do you like that? Didn't even plan to do that, but boom. So now we got a much better view, and you can see, it says now is actually about 11:15. Like I said, it's a little behind, but you can see that band trying to work its way north. And if it gets here, and I think it will, we're going to see snowfall rates, I think 2 to 3 inches an hour sustained for 3 or 4 hours. So you just do the math there. You add it to the 5 inches we already have. And then, everyone's talking now about the back end of this thing. I mentioned it on yesterday's broadcast, where it's just going to linger. The snow's just going to seem to last forever. It's not going to be as wicked as it is now or this afternoon, but it's just going to linger overnight. It's going to linger into tomorrow. And so anyway, let me go back here to the production page. I asked my sister-in-law to put up a video, or send me a video, which she did, of the snow. Now, New York City is in the worst of it. This video is probably a half an hour old. Let me see if I can blow this up so you don't have to see all the crap on the right side. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. This video is about a half hour old, and hopefully it's going to play for me. There we go. And there's no sound with it, so you don't expect any sound. But this is Lincoln Towers, Upper West Side, and you can see, looking across, Lincoln Towers is a group of buildings, for those of you who don't know, and that building across the way is probably, you're talking yards, you're not even talking a quarter of a mile, and look how you can barely see it. So it's really it's quite the blizzard happening down there, and that's all coming this way. Visibility is going to go down. Let's get rid of that, and let's bring us back up. There we go. So that's
now, John, you used the word blizzard.
Yeah.
So I've heard that term. Some people use it just kind of casually, like when it's really snowy and windy. But for something to qualify as a blizzard, can you tell us exactly what?
Yeah.
That
So
means?
it's and it's really funny because blizzard and winter storm warnings definitions change depending on where you live, which is really interesting. But here, it's sustained snowfall rates of, I think it's 2 to 3 inches an hour. I'm just going over memory here. It's high winds, sustained, and it's visibility. So those are the three.
Yeah, I think it's winds over 35 miles an hour, or frequent gusts over 35 miles an hour for more than 3 hours.
And I think the app on my phone, I don't think it shows gusts. I'll take a quick look here, but I don't think we're too far from that. Yeah, it's showing 16 miles an hour, but I guarantee you, we're gusting higher than that, and we're heading even higher. So I think, maybe West Hartford doesn't quite hit that designation, but I'll guarantee you large areas will, particularly areas along the coast that do not change over. So, and it's nice. I was nervous yesterday. I hedged. I said 90%.
You're crackly again.
Okay. Yesterday I said 90%, we get there. And then, now I think everybody's kind of talking the B word, particularly for New York City and surrounding areas to the west of New York. So we're gonna see that. I think we're gonna get there, and it'll be a memorable storm. This is gonna be a memorable storm. And now next week is the forecast changing for next week. I had talked yesterday about rain Friday, Saturday, and maybe it getting out of here early to mid Sunday. But now the maps are changing a little bit, and we're possibly looking at another really big snow event next Sunday. And we will be reporting on that as the week progresses.
Oh, I saw a forecast that showed sun and warm weather on Sunday.
Saturday, really? Okay, well, this is great.
I could be making that up. That could be wishful thinking on my part.
It could be wishful thinking. Right now, yeah, they're saying Saturday's looking better. So Friday's going to be, I said later this week's going to be warm. It is. It's going to be high 30s, low 40s. But yes, Saturday and Sunday it's looking like snow, and looks like there's going to be ample cold air in place. It's going to start a little higher, and then the temperature is going to come down a little bit. So,
well, we can just stay inside and watch the Super Bowl, right?
So yeah, that's right. We got this. Are we allowed to say the S word on this show, or are we going to get in trouble?
I don't know.
I don't want to get a cease and desist from the NFL.
We can watch the big game.
Yeah, the big game. Yes, the NFL championship game. So so we'll talk about that. Are you rooting for, Kansas City or Tampa Bay?
I don't know. I still don't hurt me for this, but I still kind of think Tom Brady is a traitor. So the rest of my family is going to root for him. So
the 9 Super Bowls he got you guys into wasn't enough, Ronnie?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, or whatever it was. I'm a Jets fan. Okay. So, I'm actually rooting for Brady. I like Tampa. I always have I went to school down there, and you would go to games down there and stuff. And so I actually like the Buccaneers. They're kind of like my backup team and to the Jets. And so I'm rooting for the Bucs. I don't think they're going to win. I'm not a betting man, but hearing the line, I've never been on a sporting event in my life, but hearing the line at 3 points, I think is crazy. I just, and Buffalo, it was the same thing, and I guess maybe it was based on Mahomes being hurt, but I think for the first time in a long time, we're going to have a kind of a lopsided. It just Kansas City. There's the NFL, and then there's Kansas City. They're like in a league of their own. They're that good. They're not 85 Bears good, but they're pretty good. So
well, I'll root for a good game and some good commercials.
Well, I'll tell you, if you have a minute for a story, I'll tell you a funny story. What happened yesterday? We had a very interesting event over here. So Jessica and I were out.
Oh, you're crackling, John.
Okay, I'm crackling. Hello.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I've got 5 bars too. So Jessica and I were out yesterday, and we pulled into the driveway, and there was piles of groceries on our doorstep. Piles in bags we didn't recognize. These big plastic bags with the plastic handles. It's like, this is weird. So I thought maybe somebody was dropping off something that was being donated to, I don't know, whatever. Because Jess is involved in a couple of charities that food things, and so we walk up, and it's all brand new groceries from Aldi. It was delivered from the New Britain Aldi store, which I'd never been to Aldi over there. And so we brought it inside. We looked at it, clearly it wasn't us. We called a few neighbors, wasn't theirs. So we put a message up on Neighbors and Friends, and anybody lose some groceries, and nothing there. We're really getting back. So we're getting ready to donate it. So we start unpacking the bags, and my goodness, the Super Bowl party these people are going to have is going to be epic. They had 3 or 4 racks of ribs that were easily, 3 feet long. It was just over the top Super Bowl party. Whoop, there we go. Oh, it's my keyboard. It wasn't me that went. So, I mean, just absolutely insane. So we don't know what to do with it. So we called Aldi. Nobody answers. We drive over to Aldi. They're like, keep it. We're not allowed to take it back. We have to throw it in the garbage if we take it back. We called the food delivery company, which I can't remember who it was, but one of these, like a Grubhub type thing, delivered it. It wasn't Grubhub, but it was one of those. We called them. They're like, we're not allowed to take it back. Keep it. It's a gift. Like,
wow.
$165 worth of meat for
Wow.
for a Super Bowl party. And I've never cooked ribs in my life. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna learn how to cook ribs. So then, we
Hey, my
talked
husband's really good at cooking ribs. So
is it well
you still have any?
we don't, I'll tell you. So we got very lucky and it was almost a really rough situation. So we felt we had exhausted every reasonable path to finding the owner of the food. And so we finally, Jessica calls up. She's involved in I think it's called food rescue, where she goes to Trader Joe's, grabs food that's not quite expired, but it's not going to be sold. And she brings it to shelters in Hartford and they cook it up immediately and serve it to the homeless. So she calls the organization and, with the snow coming, I was kind of chomping at the bit to get the stuff in the car and get it over there. And she said, can we bring it over now? And they said, no, could you bring it over in the morning? And at that point, it looked like the morning drive was going to be okay. So we said, fine. And then 9:30 at night, one of our neighbors who was several houses away, I don't know why they dropped it at this house, why the delivery service dropped it here. They called, we said, hey, we heard you got some food. And it was their food. So we were literally, well, thank God, because we almost brought it to the homeless. And I mean, the company would have made it right. They would have gotten their money back, but it would have created a headache for them. And so $165 worth of ribs and chips and salsa. And I mean, just over the top.
Did they invite you to their Super Bowl party?
I know. I said, what time's the Super Bowl party? Can we come? And, but it was a funny story.
Can't do that because that would be mixing households.
That's true. We don't think about that anymore. I mean, you're right. And we're so locked in at being here.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, no, we definitely respect the social distancing, but just so that, in a conversation like this, I'm just not thinking about it. And then the reality would set in. It's, oh, no, we can't go. But the other interesting thing is we live in a little development here where the houses are kind of cookie cutter. And so it's the first time I've looked in the door of a house that's a twin to ours. And it was literally like, we had moved out and somebody had moved in 5 minutes. It was the strangest thing. So an update from NBC Connecticut. Let's see what it says. Oh, Dustin Pedroia is retiring. So I thought it might be a weather update. So we keep you up on the latest sports news too. So anyway, so that's the weather. It's going to really go downhill. I think we're going to have blizzard conditions here. I think we will qualify for a blizzard. I think certainly other areas south and west of us will qualify as a blizzard. And somebody said, Stephanie Marco Lance, thanks for the weather report. Stay safe, everyone. The weather this weekend will be perfect supporting local artists. Here, we're going to give her a plug here, doing the Sweet Art pop-up with the Weehaw Artists Emporium and to eat yummy food during that game on Sunday. She was good. She didn't use the S word for the game, referring to the game.
That's right.
So
I'm going to put in a plug too for people. If you do get some good snow photos, I don't think it's great snowman snow right now, but if you do get any good snow photos, send them to me at editorial@we-ha.com. I'll be putting together some kind of story about the snow. I'm going to go cross country skiing a little bit later. So if I can bear to take my gloves off, maybe I'll take a few photos too.
Well, it certainly is a winter wonderland out there. If not for the wind, it'd be absolutely gorgeous, but the wind is just going to be brutal. So anyway, all right. So this Wednesday night, we're waiting for confirmation from our guests, but we think we have a show Wednesday night, 6:00, right?
Yep.
Don't want to say the guests are because I don't want to put them on the spot, but they've asked to be on the show. So I think they're going to say yes. I think we're going to be able to confirm that. And then who knows? We'll see when our next show is. We don't have any more guests right now. So that's always the fun part, is finding our guests. So anyway, and if you want to see a good show, we did a great show with Sherry Cantor, Mayor Sherry Cantor, and Matt Hart, town manager. We did that this past Thursday night. You can find it on we-ha.com and learn about what I think is the biggest financial news for this town in decades. So, but I'll leave that as a teaser. You're gonna have to go watch it. So, all right. Well, anything else, Ronnie, or are we going to sign out?
No, that's it.
All right. I'm going to sign out. Hang tight. We'll do this in a moment. And